Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're literally stepping straight into the ancient, quiet architecture of what the source text calls the presence sanctuary. We're going on a really deep, somatic journey centered around a character named Ariella. And listen, this isn't just a story. It's a profound look at exactly how our bodies hold on to survival mechanisms, and more importantly, how we can finally actually let them go. Okay, listen to this. I can be open and whole at the same time. That right there is the central promise of our exploration today. I think it perfectly captures that core tension so many of us feel, right? It's that constant tug of war between our deeply ingrained instinct to perform, shrinking or adapting just to stay safe, and our desperate desire to actually inhabit our true sovereign selves. To really get this shift, we have to picture the sanctuary itself. Imagine this quiet, ancient room that feels like it's just been waiting for you to return. Picture the atmosphere. Heavy floorboards beneath your feet, maybe the sound of rain gently tapping against the dark windows. It's a space that literally demands nothing from you, but your genuine presence. So as we walk through this with Ariella, I actually want you to do something right now. Just place a hand gently over your chest, right over your sternum, exactly like Ariella does when she steps toward the veiled mirror in this room. In this sanctuary, the mirror doesn't just give you a reflection, it reveals truth. And it offers Ariella this symbol, a circle, gently open at the very top. It represents wholeness without closure, meaning you can be completely yourself without having to shut the entire world out. In this breathtaking moment as she receives it, the symbol sinks behind her sternum like a warm ember. It's not a static object. It activates as a living, breathing truth right inside her body. So, what does that activation actually feel like? Well, it starts as this really subtle tremor right beneath the sternum. It's the physical sensation of the symbol waking up from the inside. Ariella feels this warmth spread through her ribs, up into her throat and down her spine, illuminating these forgotten corridors of herself. As you sit here right now with your hand on your chest, just notice your own body. Where do you sense warmth or expansion? What part of you feels like it's waking up? As the symbol pulses, a ring of energy expands around Ariella. Now, this represents a totally new kind of boundary, one that forms from the inside out, naturally rooted in truth. I mean, think about the old boundaries we usually build out of fear and defensiveness. Think about the absolute mental gymnastics it takes to constantly negotiate our belonging and monitor everyone else's reactions. It's so exhausting, isn't it? But this new boundary, it doesn't keep the world out. It just effortlessly holds her center. Then, the symbol sends a message, not in words she hears, but as a truth she feels vibrating through her cells. I want you to let these sentences land in your own body for a second. You do not need to close to be safe. You do not need to shrink to be loved. You do not need to disappear to belong. Just let the profound weight of those pulses act directly on your nervous system. You are absolutely allowed to take up space. As that truth lands, something pretty incredible happens inside her. Old reflexes actually begin to loosen. That survival spirit of people-pleasing, that internal gatekeeper that kept her small and constantly managing everyone else's emotions, it finally unhooks. It doesn't tear or fight, it just lets go. Her spine lengthens, her throat softens, and this vast, quiet spaciousness opens up in her chest. The performance is dissolving at a cellular level. It kind of makes you wonder, what identity is quietly dissolving inside you right now? Now let's step into the inner dialogue that follows this release. Imagine that warmth behind your ribs speaking to you, not in words and not in images, but as a presence. You ask it, "What are you here to teach me?" And the response just rises through you. "I am here to remind you of what you already know." It's not about learning something new at all. It's about remembering the truth that was always there, just buried under all that performance. The conversation continues, and this is where it gets really, really beautiful. The symbol says, "I am the part of you that never closed, even when you thought you had to. I am the opening you protected without realizing it. It's the wholeness you totally forgot you carried. It is completely untouched by the masks you've worn or the ways you've contorted yourself to fit in." Then we get this incredibly grounding directive. You might ask, why is this happening now? Well, the symbol reveals it's because she finally made space for herself, because she stopped abandoning her center. The symbol tells her, do less, become more. Let your actions rise from who you are, not who you perform to be. This is the ultimate shift from doing to simply being. It's a grounding command to finally act from a place of deep, unshakable alignment. But what actually happens when we take this inner shift out into the real world? When Ariella speaks her truth to someone else, the source text compares the relational impact of a distorted field to a coherent field. A distorted field is full of shrinking, bracing, and constantly monitoring the other person's reactions. But a coherent field, which she creates just by staying centered, allows for mutual centering. The space reorganizes around truth, not fear. And the best part? Neither person has to perform. Of course, the fear doesn't just magically vanish. There's this deeply poignant moment where Ariella confronts that fearful, protective part of herself. But she doesn't banish it. Instead, she says, "You don't have to stop protecting me. You just don't have to do it alone." She actually invites this fearful part to move from being a tight, bracing shield in her chest to becoming a warm, supportive companion resting in her back body. It's a beautiful integration, not an exile. I want to guide you through a practical step to really anchor this. It's called the activation breath, straight from the workbook. Let's do this together really quick. Keep your hand over your sternum. Imagine that warm, gently open circle resting behind your ribs. Take a deep inhale, feeling the symbol expand gently. And as you exhale, send that warm light through your body. Let the warmth move into your throat, your spine, your belly, and just let your body register this truth. I can be open and whole at the same time. To bring all of this together, let's quickly look at the core takeaways of Ariella's integration. We learn that true boundaries form from within, not from defensive walls. We see that you can be sovereign without needing to close yourself off, which allows old, exhausting patterns to dissolve at a cellular level. Identity shifts through somatic recognition, meaning you actually feel it in your body. And ultimately, we have to stop negotiating our worth. I want to leave you with a lingering question to really let all of this sink in. What becomes possible when your boundaries are rooted in truth rather than protection? Seriously, think about the unperformed self waiting right beneath your surface, ready to wake up. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you continue to explore the quiet architecture of your own presence.